Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ESSA. It has been a very exciting weekend of matches so far, and we have still got some very exciting ones left, including this incredible-looking match between Din and tekkito. My name's Tyken, and joining me is Rezoa. Rezoa, how are you doing today?
I am doing decently, definitely. Very excited for this match. Already refed 2 other matches, the one being Refs versus Anesthetic, where we've gone to tiebreaker. I think this match here could potentially go into that same direction as well. Din versus tekkito. tekkito definitely not very known for his incredible speed, mechanic side sort of skills, but he definitely improved a lot, and I feel like this pool at this star rating is still kind of in his range. Meanwhile, Din, one of the most popular speed ACK players, one of the best ones as well, has been a little bit on a break recently, but came back a few months ago, and he's looking as good as ever.
Yeah, Din is always in the conversation for one of, for the top echelon of speed players in the world. tekkito, not necessarily, but, yeah, as you said, the improvement is, very, blindingly obvious, right? And you see, as time has gone on, especially, I think, 2022 and after, tekkito really upped that speed game. And has been able to compete on speed in standard open rank. In the speed tournament, it's going to be a little bit harder, but see how far you can get, right?
Yeah.
Either way, I still think it's going to be a great match between these players. And they're interesting seeing if you're not familiar with this format, there are no mod slots. It is quite literally S1 through 13 in a tiebreaker, and that's what you've got to play. So you see that King Henry map, that is the tiebreaker, and then the rest of them are just S1 through 13 in the picks. So players aren't going to be picking or banning based off of mod pools or anything. They're just straight, are we playing no mod, are we playing GT? They can play hidden preference as well. So, a very interesting format to kind of tackle.
Alright, wait. Alright, a little bit of a confusion with the rules there. It says that if you pick the winner of the rolls, pick either the pick order or the ban and protect order. And if someone picks second, like tekkito did there, you will ban second but also protect second.
All right. It's always fun figuring those out. Protects always. Protects were introduced so late into the this kind of standardized system of picked and bans, and so it's always fun. Everybody has their own special little way of dealing with Protect. We're finally coming through. Din is going to Protect first and going to Protect S9 at that. That is Chuno's perfect math class. The DJ pot map in DT. Very, very interesting. And is tekkito going to Protect S6, Stoic Hypothesis, which is like, it isn't a tech map, but it's, you know, kind of leaning that more control-oriented side of speed.
Alright, yeah, ban S5. Din has said that this map is absolutely impossible for him, even with AR edit, so kind of makes a lot of sense for him to ban this one out. I think it was also like the map that was pretty much the hardest one out of all of the other maps, so it kind of makes sense for him to ban it, especially since it's a very techy sort of slider A map, and tekkito can pretty much keep up with that for sure. So tekkito first picks S6 here, which is going to be Stoic Hypothesis, the other 10.5 map, the last remaining one. This one very, very finger control intensive, 255 ppm, a lot of sort of weird sliders as well, a lot of high AR reading, a lot of snap aim. So this one very, very tricky, and I believe that this is the one with the least amount of like stamina and raw speed, so it kind of makes sense for tekkito to go into this one. Very control-based pick for sure.
Yeah, tekkito is what I would say is he's a control player, right? You know, you look at the stuff that he plays in tournament, even outside of speed, and it's still all control oriented in some way or another, whether it be aim or finger control and all that. So yeah, this is the most tekkito pick in the world.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
so
Din
really good on it.
Yeah. So far, actually, Din kind of going into the favor right now, but. Yeah, Din has said this map is also kind of hard for him, so I feel like this can be a good pick for tekkito, but he kind of has to like push that egg a little bit more right now, as he does right now, with Din dropping a lot of 100s here in this finger control section here.
Yeah, tekkito was dropping a lot of slider ends earlier on, but it's kind of caught back on where Din now really having trouble. But you know, these two players are still within a good range of accuracy from each other. 90 to 93 is not a very big difference, especially compared to something like 97 to 100, right? So that 3% difference isn't as big as you might take it to be, but Din needs tekkito to start really like making hammer down mistakes. But, I mean, this map is short. And there's no time to die for tekkito.
Yeah, absolutely not. And tekkito takes the first pick here. Very good map for him. Over 1% more than Din. And let's see how Din will respond to this one. I believe he will probably go into something like the S11, if I recall correctly. Yeah, S11 right there. The 260 BPM Gordon custom map from Corsairs, I think. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I don't remember. This one very 7 and 10. It's pretty much no aim at all. It's only 260 BPM, short streams, long bursts, 16 nodes, 24 nodes, back to back. Very standard stamina pick.
Yeah. And 2 minutes 30 seconds. I think that's kind of the saving grace if you don't want to play stamina against Din, which I know I certainly wouldn't. The length is kind of your savior here. On one hand, it means like you don't have super much time to recover from accuracy errors, which tekkito hits a chain of 100s on the first streams, which is a little scary. But you also don't have to play this for far too long. But oh, that is a brutal start to the map in an accuracy tournament.
Yeah. And right now, tekkito still holding on to his combo, and he also does decently well on those streams afterwards. Seems like players kind of... I mean, it's hard to get into this map very early on because it already starts very brutal. Yeah, I feel like both players kind of had to adjust a little bit. Din adjusted really well. tekkito also adjusted decently well. And now let's just see who has the consistency with this one. tekkito definitely has to like catch up a lot here.
Yeah, that said, the recovery is pretty good, but Din is just playing so good. Din is playing like you expect Din to play. 99 accuracy on the stamina map. That's the GOAT right there. He's going to continue holding on to that accuracy in this. This section's interesting because you have like the potential to just like drop slider ends on those kick sliders, but that's really the only hard accuracy part of this section.
Yeah, the triple's kind of simple, very simple in fact. And you just have to watch out that you don't drop unnecessary 100s, and both did really well. Now we're getting into the next burst section here, or like stream section even. And Din is just looking phenomenal in this one, honestly. Like 99.3 is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I have not seen this guy drop accuracy in a second. There we go, there's 100. But there's nothing tekkito can do about that, right? Like, tekkito continually finding some 100s. You know, we saw 50 and a miss, and of course those are accuracy judgments as well, and not faring great from Din. Just dropped below 99. It is tough.
Yeah, like even then, like tekkito has to like SS pretty much the rest of the map. And yeah, as we've just said that, he drops a lot of 100s on the next streams here. Din just had that one, like, unfortunate stream there, where he dropped a lot of act, but he's back to normal. Back to not dropping a single 100s on any of these streams. And, you know, that's just how this map goes, and Din takes this one very convincingly. It's 1-1, 98.72% FC. No, almost FC here, he started broke at the beginning, but very good score regardless. And, well, this one definitely a little bit more in favor of Din. tekkito goes for the 240 BPM right Jodo map.
Yeah. As to this is interesting. Jodo is not the kind of person that I take to be a speed mapper per se, so it's interesting to see the Jodo speed map. Yeah, 145. Another like super short, but it is helpful to note that the average length of these pools is not very long. But it's interesting to see tekkito just go into another pick that is so short.
Yeah, so this map here, very much just, this is literally the map. There's nothing more, really. It's a lot of, like, 5-note bursts, doubles, just, like, the consistency between, like, mixing your aim and your strain ability is, like, pretty much the challenging point of this map here. You can just easily, like, miss-aim randomly and, like, note lock a tiny bit, or you just, like, finger lock on one of those doubles. And meanwhile, tekkito going up right now here, Din missing, and it is 100's difference. There we go. Now it's even.
No way.
And there's another 100. And there's another 100.
And they're still matching. How cute. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It means it's all gonna come down to literally 30 seconds of beat map to see who will drop more, which is really scary. Into the more control-heavy portion of the map we go. Both these players have to be so cautious. They're within 1/100 of each other.
And there we go.
tekkito finds a chain drop.
And this is very brutal now. Din holding on to his pretty much just SS for the entire section here. And even with, like, even without that break, I feel like Din would probably win this because he'll also drop like 3 or 4 100s afterwards. And like, it just shows how incredibly tight this map is here.
Yeah, and Din did not drop a single 100 after that slow section. Wow.
And there we go, the first break point of the match, and it is 2-1 now for Din.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very impressive stuff. Now, Din gets a chance with the next pick here to get himself up with a consolidation for the breakpoint. Um, with Speed of Link. All right, this is going to be interesting. 3 minutes and 11 seconds puts this as among the longest maps in this pool. There are three
Yeah.
maps above 3 minutes. So quite the challenge indeed in terms of just the stamina element of playing Speed of Link for 3 minutes.
Yeah, so this map here, as you can see, it's sort of like the if you take the tiebreaker from this round and make it like a tiny bit slower, you kind of get this map. It's 220 BPM, I think, in the beginning here. Like, people told me this is 240, but this is not 240. Like, no way this is 240. It goes up to 240, and then it also goes up to 260 in the end. So it kind of has like 3 different BPM styles, and they all strain your hands pretty difficult, in a pretty difficult way. And right now, in taking the lead a little bit with a couple of 100s less.
Yeah, there is not a super big difference between 99.6 and 99.1. But, you know, it's still a difference that benefits Dan at the end of the day. So long as he can continue to hold on to that lead. I believe we're about to get faster, right?
Yep.
Okay.
We are now getting into the 240 section now. Right here.
Yeah, super tough long streams. Not seeing too many drops. It's just one from tekkito so far, but both of these players holding amazing scores. Traded 100s. And it's Din literally holding that like just couple 100 advantage from earlier. Neither of these players really want to give in, both of them in the 99 range, and when a 100 appears on one side of the screen, a 100 appears on the other.
And we're getting to another speed section now. We got another speed up section here.
Yeah, tekkito finds a couple 100s in a row there, a little chain drop, but once again, Din going down as well. Din like trading those out. The big thing is that the only things that they're dropping is 100s. Like, misses are huge. I was going to say, you know, that is certainly an accuracy judgment, and it's going to affect both of them. tekkito more so, though, after Din
And
finding
Din
some misses.
dropping a few 100s here, though. tekkito getting one as well. Oh, but that massive drop there on that burst might actually just cost tekkito the pick here. And so it probably does. As we now get into the slower section here, a little bit of a BPM change again. Don't overstream, don't overstream. They are overstreaming, and there we go. Din 3-1 up against tekkito. And tekkito has to pick something really well now if he wants to stay in this match, or else Din is gonna get 3 match points.
And you have to keep in mind, Din would get match point with his pick next, meaning that this is tekkito's last guaranteed pick. Unless tekkito wins something, then he's not guaranteed to ever have another pick. So you got to play this one so carefully if you're tekkito. Alright, S7 gonna be the pick. Ghost play to the audience. I was gonna say, this seems like such a tekkito pick, right, in terms of the finger control. The AJT 222 BPM map. I want to say this is the lowest BPM actually in the pool. And that's just because of the amount of control that this map forces onto you.
Yeah, the issue with this pick is that, you know, you're tekkito, so you're pretty good at reading, and this map is pretty much the most reading-intensive map as well. It is sort of easier in terms of just comboing the map, but really hard to hack it because of all of the like rhythm changes, 4-note bursts, slider overlapping patterns, rhythm changes, and you know it's good to pick this one if you're tekkito, and you know this is like the least amount of stamina, least amount of speed next to hypothesis kind of. But you're playing against someone who is actually very good at reading as well with Din. Probably like one of the worst matchups you could have as a like gimmick or like sort of like control specialist going against a tapping player who's also decent at reading.
Yeah. I mean, so far though, it's working out pretty well for tekkito. Some backdrops here and there, but Din's having a little more trouble. We saw a miss earlier. Just generally kind of behind the curve in terms of accuracy, but tekkito through that Ki, as I was yapping about it, is gonna find more act drops and actually give Din a slight lead.
And now we're getting into the hardest sort of act check now. This pattern here, the 4-note into double pattern, and they're both hitting it incredibly well. And like this is gonna go down to the wire pretty much. Din up a few 100s, but that break from tekkito costs it. Not gonna get traded back just yet, and this one in dropping like a little bit though now, and we are only 0.4% difference now. This is anyone's game still.
Yeah, this final quarter of the map is going to be crucial. See act drop, put them a little bit closer, but as both of them find drops, you know, it's hard to say like, oh, tekkito's catching up to Din, because no, tekkito's dropping as well.
Yeah,
it really is gonna matter this last PI. Din finds a bunch of drops. tekkito now has the lead, but he has to carry on through the most control-heavy portions of the map. 5 drops, but Din trades it right out with a miss at that. tekkito might have this.
Seems like tekkito is taking this. The ending is still very tricky in terms of ag. Like right after this section, there's still like a weird sort of part now, and it does go to tekkito. 3-2 now, and this one was very, very important.
Yeah, this at least means that even if Din wins the next pick, it only puts him at match point. It doesn't win him the match, and tekkito gets the chance to pick one last time. So yeah, very, very important pick to win. An S9 gonna be the pick from Din. His protected pick. Saw him protected at the beginning of the match. Shirno's perfect math class. What an insane song to have in a speed tourney.
Yeah.
You just can't escape it.
Great how Cerno is honestly like somebody. Wait, let me. So Sidron picked this, and Sidron had a funny idea with this pick actually. I have no idea what he meant by that. Let me check this really quick. So he sends the map and says, if this gets approved, can we slot this in S9 and put the former S9 in S7? The choke is Cerno 9. So it's probably something with Tohu. I don't play Tohu.
Yeah, okay, I see. I get it. Chuno is very popularly associated with the number 9, specifically in a circle. It's a long-standing meme in the Tohu community. Yeah, tekkito had some trouble with Ak in the beginning.
Yeah.
You look at Din, he was holding 99 until those doubles.
Like, this map is not going to get any easier in terms of stamina. Here we go. Yeah, tekkito dropping a little bit of Ak, and Din just gains Ak.
Yeah.
Kind of running away with this now.
99 to 96 is such a huge difference, though, in terms of those 3% differences, right? And it's gonna be really, really hard to hope that Din makes that much error if you're tekkito. Like, this is his protected pick for a reason. He's so comfortable on it, still holding that 99% accuracy as we go into that more stream heavy section. And there's nothing tekkito can do about the monster that Din is in this moment.
Yeah, this absolute 99% of C from Din is actually crazy. That is an insane score. Like, tekkito 96.5 is actually kind of decent if you compare it to other players. But if you're playing against pretty much one of the best AR8 DT players in the world, next to like Arnold, next to like Nineric, it's hard to win a pick against Din on this kind of a map. tekkito going for S8, which is Satsuriko no Keifu, a 315 BPM, 10.3 high BPM burst map. It's odd to see tekkito pick this. This pick is interesting for sure. Like,
yeah, it's interesting. Like, you gotta remember, like, there's not that much pool left for tekkito to pick from. So kind of just grasping at like whatever he can do by this point to go up. And I mean, like, look at the similarities to something like Stoic Hypothesis. You know, you have 10.3. It's certainly not 10.5, but a higher AR is something that the tekkito is very like clearly comfortable with. And if he is okay with this map, even if it's a little bit different from the maps he's picked before, then more power to him.
so far, both players are looking decently. tekkito just a tiny bit behind him, but both of those players kind of like drop ag on the 9-0 BPM burst there. And now it is dead even.
Yeah, right at the end of the KI, they literally just even up in accuracy. I'm sure it's gonna differ up a little more, but yeah, that KI was a big equalizer. Din was not very
And we are back.
Let's go!
Yeah, like, if you look at the seeding, like, you see, like, seed, what was it, 11 versus, it was like, 25 or something? No, not 25. 21? Yeah, let me see. Yeah, 10 versus 23 actually, and like, if you look at those if you look at the players here, if you look at the scores, like, this is not a normal matchup in round of 32.
Yeah. Yeah, until just a second ago, tekkito found some act drops there, but before that, they were literally 2 100s apart. It is still a very, very close match as we go into the KI. This is where we saw Din kind of struggle in the first KI. We saw a lot of act drops. To see them here, but with the lead that Din currently has, it's going to take a lot more than that to even up with tekkito. And if tekkito keeps finding these act drops on these sort of longer streams, that he can't really get back fighting against Din.
Yeah, and it seems like with a lot more 100 drops here, it is still 1%, and there's just too little time now. Unfortunate for tekkito as he goes out with an FC on this map, 97.66, a really respectable score. But if you're going against someone who's also FC with 98.56, then it's kind of hard to win. And therefore, Din takes the match 5-2 and goes into the next winners round. Meanwhile, tekkito drops down to losers in round of 32.
Yeah, that's such a tough matchup to pull if you're tekkito. But yeah, great stuff from both these players. You know, wonderful players, and Din especially. I'm looking at, like, God, this guy's gonna go so far in this tournament.
Yep.
But yeah, stick around though. We literally have another match in 10 minutes. So yeah, stick around. It's gonna continue to stream. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
With that match.
Yeah, meanwhile, Din goes into the next round and plays against Aimbot Cone in winners brackets round of 16. Meanwhile, tekkito goes down to losers and plays against Net Nesanya, a very good Russian speed player as well. And he did have quite a lot of good scores against Aimbot Cone. So that matchup is probably going to be a little bit difficult for tekkito regardless. And Aimbot Cone versus Din is crazy. That is a crazy matchup.
Yeah. Our next match is Gonzo versus Hunter. And again, it's in literally 10 minutes, 1840 UTC. Okay, we also have 3 matches at 20 UTC, but I believe that the one we're streaming is Tomasz Czech versus Pinguizzi.
Yep.
And then finally, the last match of the weekend, Riot versus Arnold at 2 UTC. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. Starting with this next match. That said, I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go as well. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you guys are sticking around for the next match, Gonzo vs Hunter. That's gonna be a really good match as well. Probably very close like this one. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next match. Bye bye.
Yeah, enjoy the next match.
この世でそうかより綺麗な花はないわ。なぜならば全ては嘘でできてる。アンティパシーは熱望の雨は私の傘をついて湿らす前髪と心の裏面。煩わしいはいつしかことの葉はとにかりきってことの実がたしに